The Harris County Flood Control District is also keeping a close eye on the severe weather threat and the potential for flooding across the area.
Meteorologist Jeff Linder, who works with the Flood Control District, is joining us live now over Zoom this afternoon. Jeff, as always, thanks so much for joining us. We want to start off with the state of the bayous. A lot of people thinking about them. How are they looking right now, and what improvements have been made to mitigate the flood risk in recent years?
Yeah, the bayous are doing good. As Frank said, the good thing is we've been dry over the last couple of weeks and months even, and so the bayous are in great shape this afternoon, some running a little bit below average even. So there's plenty of capacity in the bayous to be able to handle the storms that we expect really after midnight and into tomorrow morning. The question then becomes, as Frank just showed there, do we get some of those higher totals that we were kind of up in Montgomery County, the 5-6 inches? Do those fall a little bit further to the south in Harris County and across some of the bayous and creeks? We think at this point we could handle 5 and even 6 inches of rain as long as it's spread out over 4 or 5 hours. If we were to get that in a couple of hours, we would certainly have some concerns for some of the creeks and bayous. At this time, our biggest threat we think is going to be that street flooding potential. And again, starting around 10, 11 o'clock and then going potentially all the way through the morning rush hour tomorrow morning. And so, if you're out and about, especially late tonight when it's dark and very hard to see that water on the roadways, you need to be monitoring those situations, and then get up early tomorrow morning and check the traffic to see if we do have any high water locations and the amount of rain that has fallen in that overnight period.
Jeff, let me ask you this. When we hear the potential for flooding, many of us have flashbacks to Harvey and what happened with the Addicks and Barker reservoirs. Have the levels been lowered?
Yeah, the good news is Barker Reservoir is empty and Addicks has a little bit of water in it. Both of them have a very large amount of capacity. The rainfall we're expecting this evening would not cause any issues with either of those pools and those reservoirs. And as of about an hour ago, the Corps of Engineers did send out a message that they have closed all of the floodgates at Addicks and Barker. So that's standard procedure for an incoming storm system. And so no concern with the Addicks and Barker reservoirs. Also, the city of Houston did make the decision yesterday evening to lower Lake Houston a foot, so that does build in a little bit of capacity there in the Lake Houston area, and that probably will be some of the area that we expect some of the heaviest rainfall to come down the San Jacinto River, the West Fork and the East Fork. Even as we get into tomorrow and even tomorrow night, we start to get some of that runoff coming down into Lake Houston. So folks in that area do need to be watching the situation tonight, and then of course even into tomorrow night and potentially Wednesday, because it takes some time for that water to get down towards the lake.
All right, Jeff, and as we get ready and brace for these next 17, 18 hours, what's the biggest takeaway from the storm that you want people to keep in mind?
Yeah, the biggest takeaway is a lot of this is going to happen when you're sleeping tonight. And so you need to have a way to get warnings. The most effective way is your cell phone. I know a lot of times we get in these events, people turn off those alerts because you get so many warnings. But this is one of those nights where you need to make sure that those alerts are on, not only for the flooding threat, but also, as Frank mentioned, the severe weather and the tornado threat. We have all modes of potential activity tonight, from the severe threat aspect to the flooding and flash flooding threat. And again, that's going to happen when most of us are going to be sleeping tonight. So make sure you have a way to receive those warnings overnight, and then have a plan in place to take action if a warning is issued for your area. And then the second thing is get up in the morning, get up early, check the traffic, and then see the conditions on the roadways. And if there is some high water, maybe delay your commute or take an alternate route.
All right, Jeff Linder, meteorologist with the Harris County Flood Control District. As always, thanks so much, Jeff.